What if I told you that the way most of us live our days, rushing, cutting corners, saving our best effort for later, is the reason we never truly build the life we dream of? You see, we all want success, peace, happiness. We say, when I have more time, when I'm more ready, when I feel inspired, I'll give it my all. But the truth is, someday never comes. You're not unmotivated. You're not failing. You've just been building with the wrong mindset. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you a story. A simple story about an old carpenter and a house that changed his life. It's a story that reveals a truth most people only learn too late, that every single thing you do, every choice you make, every effort you give, is building something permanent, whether you realize it or not. Stay with me, because the lesson he learned might just be the one you've been needing to hear. There was once a humble carpenter named Elias, who lived in a quiet mountain village surrounded by pine trees and fog. For nearly 50 years, Elias had built everything the villagers needed: their doors, their tables, their homes. People said he could look at a pile of timber and already see the home it would become. No one builds like Elias. Every nail he hammers carries honesty. But that gift came with a cost. Elias never built a home for himself. He lived in a small shed behind his workshop, just 4 walls, 1 chair, 1 bed, and a single oil lamp. He always said, "One day when the time is right, I'll build my own." That one day never came, but time, as it always does, began to take its toll. His hands shook, his back ached, his eyes blurred the line between wood and shadow. He felt tired, not just in his body, but in his soul. One morning, the village chief came to visit him. "Elias," he said warmly, "you've served this village longer than anyone, but before you retire, I have one last favor to ask. We need one final house. When it's done, you can rest." Elias sighed. He wanted to refuse, but his pride wouldn't let him. "All right," he said, "one last house." But something in him had changed. This time, there was no joy when he lifted his tools, no excitement when he cut the wood. He began to rush. He used cheaper timber, hammered carelessly, and skipped the small touches that once made his work special. He told himself, "It doesn't matter. It's my last job. Who will notice?" Months later, the house stood finished, tall and proud on the hill, with white shutters and a red door. From afar, it looked beautiful, but inside, Elias knew its flaws: the uneven beams, the hollow joints, the corners that didn't quite meet. He pressed the key into the chief's palm. "It's done," he said simply. The chief smiled, his eyes soft with something Elias couldn't quite read. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small wooden box, old and polished smooth with age. Inside, resting on a bed of velvet, was a single golden key, its handle engraved with delicate vines and a small star at the tip. He frowned. "What's this?" The chief looked at him for a long moment before speaking. "Do you remember," he said quietly, "the house you built for my father more than 30 years ago? You left something inside one of the beams, a small note. It said, 'Every door deserves a key that fits the heart.'" Elias blinked, startled. He had almost forgotten those words. The chief continued, "We had this key forged after that, by the blacksmith in the next valley. We always said that one day, when you finally built your own house, this would be the key to it." He paused, then smiled faintly. "It took you half a lifetime, my friend, but that day has come." "Elias," he said softly, "this house isn't for anyone else. It's for you. It's our gift for a lifetime of service. Elias stared at the golden key, the metal glinting softly in the light. The words, "Every door deserves a key that fits the heart," echoed in his mind. Words from a man he no longer recognized. His breath caught. The room felt suddenly smaller, the air heavier. He looked toward the red door, the uneven beams, the hollow walls, and his chest ached with a sharp, wordless regret. He closed the box carefully and said nothing. Only the faint sound of wind filled the silence between them. That night, Elias walked up to the hill to the house and turned the golden key in the lock. The door opened with a sigh, like a tired soul exhaling. He stepped inside, and for the first time in his life, the builder found himself standing in a home that was his, and realized it was the one he had cared for the least. He sank into the chair by the window, and the golden key glinting in his hand, and whispered, "If only I had known this was mine, I would have built it with care. I would have built it to last." Outside, the pine trees swayed gently, whispering through the night, as if the mountain itself was mourning with him. The lesson from the story. Elias's greatest mistake wasn't using cheap wood or cutting corners. It was forgetting that everything you build in this world eventually becomes your home. When you act with laziness, you build a weak foundation for your future. When you act with care, integrity, and effort, even in small, unseen tasks, you build walls that can weather any storm. Elias learned too late that every day is a construction site. Every word you speak, every decision you make, every effort you give, is all part of the house you'll one day live in. The lesson for us. We often think what we're doing today doesn't matter. We rush through our work, our relationships, our responsibilities, thinking, "I'll do better when it counts." But the truth is, it always counts. Your attitude today is the brickwork of your tomorrow. Your consistency, your honesty, your effort, those are the beams that hold up your future. If you cut corners now, you're only weakening your own house. If you build with care, your home, your life will stand strong long after motivation fades. So build wisely, build patiently, and above all, build with heart, because you are both the builder and the one who must live in what you create. Elias's story reminds us, don't save your best effort for someday. Give it today, because one day you'll walk through the doors of the life you built, and it will either be your greatest regret or your proudest achievement. We don't always get to choose what life gives us, but we do get to choose how we build with it. So wherever you are, whatever you're facing, keep showing up. Keep building with love, with patience, and with quiet faith that it matters. Because one day you'll look back and realize the house you built wasn't just made of wood and stone. It was made of you. This is Tales by Cathie, where every story reminds us that wisdom often hides in the simplest moments. Until we meet again, take care, build gently, and keep crafting a life worth living.